Welcome yogis, namaste. My name is Rachel and this is a yin class we'll be doing together. It's always a good idea to have some props for a yin practice, blocks, blanket, bolster, pillows if you don't have a bolster, just anything that you have at home to make yourself comfortable. It's great to set the mood in the room that you're in, the lighting, maybe light a candle, do all the things around you, make the room be comfortable and ready for a nice quiet practice of yin. So when you're ready, come to start in a seat with me. And if you are feeling tight in your low back or your hips are really tight and your knees are elevated, use a block underneath your bum or your bolster or even a folded blanket to sit. And then use your hands to help you press against the legs to elevate your chest. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back a few times to let the shoulders drop and relax. Invite your eyes to close or semi-close so we can start to bring our attention in. Let your breath be natural, soft, and easy. And just take these moments just to notice how you're breathing. Notice the breath as it comes in through the nostrils, as it passes down the back of the throat, as it travels towards your lungs, the ribs, the belly. And watch the breath as it leaves out the same passageway. And just hone your attention in, reroute your attention towards breath. Putting aside your day, whatever you are doing, and become a little bit curious to the way you feel right now. Asking yourself how you're feeling, how you are doing today. What kind of day has it been? Maybe it's the start of your day. Taking stock of the last few days and just your overall sense of being. Take a few more moments here just to land yourself and to slow down your pace. And set intention, if it feels good to do so, for why you're choosing a yin practice today. What do you need from class? What do you need to let go of? Take 3-4 more breaths in your seat, infusing your intention in. All right, so we'll slowly let our eyes open and we'll come into our first yin posture. So moving your block, if you were sitting on one, you're gonna take your soles of your feet together with your knees bent for butterfly. Option here, you can use your blocks on the outside of your legs to help hold up your legs if you're really tight and you need that extra support. You can bring a block in between your feet because we're gonna fold forward and maybe you'll rest your head. You can also take blocks underneath your palms. So the idea in a yin practice or a yin style is to find a shape that accommodates your body, that gives you some sensation, but we're not seeking to overdo or be overwhelmed in what we're doing. So you'll let your shoulders relax, and we just let our head drop. And again, you take the posture that works best for you here, where you're not going too fast and too far. We're gonna let our body and the time in the practice, in the pose, bring us in. And we want to soften. So in those initial moments, you can make subtle adjustment. You might come into it and thought this was good, and then you'll realize you maybe need to fix something. And then once you've done all the adjustment, we want to be still. So the practice of yin is to find stillness, to take a shape and to hold that stillness. And then relax in and get comfortable. Let the breath be natural, easy. And let any effort that you are doing be released. So unlike other styles of practice in yoga, yin is passive. And we hold our poses between a minute, sometimes up to 5, depending. But that being said, you are always welcome to come out of a pose at any time if you feel it's overwhelming you. If you can't feel an easy breath. We want to take care of our body. And we really want to listen. So we'll be in this pose for another minute. And I'll give you some space here by being quiet so that you can listen to your breath and you can feel your sensations in your body. Anytime you notice that your mind is wandering to thought, past or future, just notice and come back to your breath. Come back to relaxing again and again. We'll be here for 5 more deep breaths. In through the nose. Maybe out your mouth if it feels helpful to decompress whatever tension you're holding today. As you start to take that last breath in this pose, you might use your hands down on the mat to help you come up slowly. And you roll up from the bottom to the top and just pause when your spine becomes erect here. We'll move any props that you had underneath your legs or underneath your head. Take a moment, lengthen out your legs, give them maybe a massage, a little shake, or maybe you just want to be still just to notice the release. The next pose we're going to take, we'll have our left leg straight. And we're going to bring our right knee to bend, and we're going to cross the right knee on top of left knee for half shoelace. So you want your right heel to be on the outside of your left hip. And if you're feeling a lot of pressure on the bottom of your left knee or your hamstring, you might take a block, place that underneath your leg. We're going to come into another fold here. So that block is a choice. You can also put blocks again underneath your hands. You're going to take a nice gentle fold. And in a yin practice, we're not trying to create the length we do in a flow or yang practice. We're letting ourselves drape over the legs. And you might use your hands to help rebalance the weight between left and right bum cheek. Once you find again that you're in a position that is doable and comfortable enough to be here for a little bit of time, close down the eyes. Relax the shoulders. Relax your hands. come back to watching your breath. Your breath is your barometer in every type of practice of yoga, or with everything that you do in life, really, to noticing how your inner workings are. How are you feeling within? The more you can slow the breath, the more you can relax the body. Shoulders soft, breath smooth and slow. And we watch the sensations as they move through the body. You let thoughts come and go with the breath. We'll be here for one more minute where I'll give you some space to feel, to listen, to watch. It's in those moments of quiet, of pause, where there will be distraction from things around you, sounds around you, from thought. And part of the practice is to notice and to return to the breath and to your body. Let's take 5 more breaths here. As you're taking that final breath, again, you might use your hands to help bring you up so you're coming slow with no rush. We'll do a little counter of that pose. We're going to take that right foot and land it either on the outside of your left leg or on the inside, depending what feels better for you here. We're going to take our right hand behind. Take your left arm and just hug your shin for today. No hook, just make it easy for your shoulder. And turn your chest to the right. So a nice twist here, where we're not over-forcing or overworking. We're just finding our way with ease. Breathing down the length of your spine on every inhale. And watching the exhales deepen you in. We'll take a few more breaths here, not staying as long. And then we'll turn back to middle. Let your right leg lengthen out. Give it a moment for being bent for a little while. Maybe give it a little rub, maybe a little shake. And we'll do our half shoelace on the other side. So if you need to reestablish the connection of your bum to the mat, do so. We're going to bend the left knee. Cross the left knee over top the right leg so the heel is on the outside of your hip. And again, you might take a block underneath your hamstring. Even a rolled blanket would be great. And you're just going to take a gentle fold forward. Maybe a block comes under your head. Maybe your block's under your hands. But in yin, we want to do 60% of what we would do in any other class. We're really pulling it back. We're pulling back the rein. We're settling here. And in yin, it's the time in the pose that is of benefit. It is our friend here to help us find depth, to help us quiet our mind and slow your pace. And that's typically hard for most of us to do. We're always rushing. We're always ready to get to the next thing. So this practice is challenging, maybe not as much physically for some of us, but mentally, emotionally, and energetically. Teaching us to slow pace, notice and be present. So as we're here in this pose, ask yourself what you notice. What are you noticing about your body and the way it feels today? Where do you hold tension, tightness? We'll spend one more minute in this pose. Letting everything soften, relax. As you just continue to breathe in and out, in and out. Five more breaths here. On that last one, you start to bring yourself really gently out. If you don't need to open your eyes, try not to. Sit up taller, take a moment to feel. And then let your left foot again either land outside your right leg or on the inside of the left leg or the right leg. And take your left arm behind, and our right arm just gonna hug the leg so we can twist left. Not forcing, just settling into the shape. Being more concerned and aware of the breathing than what your body's doing. What do you notice? What do you feel? A few more breaths here. Come back towards center. Let your left leg stretch out straight. This is where we'll take our blocks or your bolster, or you could take your rolled blanket. We're gonna come to a heart opener. So I'm gonna set up here one block for the head and one block for your shoulder blades. Now, the lovely thing about blocks is they can be different heights. You can have them flat, medium, or the highest height. So for your head, I would say the highest height would be good. For the back, maybe mid. You're gonna lower bum on the mat. Use your hands to take one block right where the bra strap is or right below the shoulder blades. And use your hands to help even where the block is placed. And then you're gonna take your hands to get the block right at your occipital ridge or right of the skull, not your neck. Let that be free. And then you'll get this big stretch across your chest. Let your arms widen. So options with your legs here. You can keep your feet on the ground, which will help with low back. You can take butterfly where we started the beginning of class for a second round to open through those inner thighs, outer hips. or your legs can extend wide. So you're going to choose one of those options that works. And you can always go between those options if you like. Let your arms drop and your palms be turned open, soft hands. Feel an evenness between left and right bum cheek onto the mat. And let your body just sink into your props. If you're using a bolster, your bolster would be vertical, so your whole spine to head is supported. Same with a blanket if you're using a blanket instead of a bolster. All we want to achieve here is a nice wide open chest. And this is such an amazing posture to do anytime. If any pose I were to choose in a day would be this, chest opener, just to help from all the hunching that we do during the day, sitting at computers, driving in our car, sitting on couches. This really allows us to open wide. And physiologically, it really helps us to get deeper breath, which is always one of the beautiful benefits of practicing yoga, is to teach us how to breathe more efficiently. So letting the chest take the breath in to the lungs, to the ribs, to the belly. And with your exhales, feel yourself sink into your props behind you. Letting the shoulders fall. Again, remembering to find ease, not forcing breath, not forcing the body to do more than it's ready. In yin, time is on our side. Remind yourself you have time. We'll stay here one more minute, focused on your breath, on softening, letting go of tension, unwanted, unnecessary. Begin slow breaths, taking 5 more. Through the nose, out your mouth. Decompress the day, your mind, your body. And when you're done your breaths, we'll all bring our feet to the mat so the knees point up. You're going to roll over to your favorite side. No worries about what props are behind you. You just roll over. Use the bottom arm as a cushion. Pause there for a moment. You can use one hand to just move out whatever props were behind you, and we'll lie on our backs. So a nice way just to round out this practice today is we'll just take a spinal twist here. So 2 different choices. Either your knees could be stacked as you drop them to the right, or a block between your legs to help low back, or cross left leg over right, scissor your legs. We'll all shift hips left and drop knees right. You can also use a block to hold up your knee if you need to. We're not concerned about getting the knee to the ground. What I do want you to feel attention to is that the shoulders relax to the mat. Maybe your arms open into a cactus or open wide. And always a good rule of thumb for a yin class, less is more. Less is more. Not forcing, not trying to control, fix, or manipulate any outcome. Settling here. Watching your breath in and out, and watching your body drop. We'll take a few more breaths here. And we'll take ourselves back to center, landing your feet to the mat, landing your pelvis to the mat. Take a moment just to notice that from one side to the other. We'll take to the second side. So either again, feet are on the mat, knees together, maybe a block between your thighs. Maybe you're choosing to cross the legs, but it's nice to keep balance from what you did one side to the other. Shift your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left. And remember, you could put a block underneath that knee to support. Arms wide. Right shoulder blade drops. And once again, relax back in. It is normal to be distracted. It is normal to have thoughts popping into your mind. Remember to just let yourself know it's okay. It is part of the experience. It is part of being human. We want to come back every time we notice to breath, to body, to settle, to relax and release into the practice. We just start again each time. Noticing where you're holding. If you're holding your breath. Maybe exhale out your mouth when you feel that need. Not forcing, not fixing, controlling or manipulating the outcome, the result. We're here one last minute. Stay with your attention to body, to breath. Take 5 more breaths in the pose. These final breaths, again, might be the sigh out your mouth, letting go and letting go until you're ready to let go of this pose. Take your time, bring your feet back to the mat, recenter your hips. Bring your knees towards your chest, give a little squeeze, give a little rock. We're going to come into our final Shavasana here. So this is the quintessential surrender pose of every practice. So we want it to be comfortable. So you might take your blocks underneath your thighs. You might use your bolster under your thighs. Another option, if you need for your head, is to put a block underneath your skull. You might cover yourself with your blanket. If you have clothing to cover your eyes or an eye pillow, take it. Make this sweet and make this feel really good that you're taking care of yourself here. This is your time. Let your shoulders drop into the mat. Feel your face relax behind the lids, across the forehead, your jaw, your tongue, your throat. Moving down your body, letting each part relax, release. Remind yourself there's no rush. And again, the beauty of being at home, you don't need to rush off your mat. Let everything else wait. Let everyone else wait. And let yourself indulge. I will allow you here to be for as long as you need. This is where I will leave you. I thank you for practicing with me. Have a beautiful day. Many blessings. Namaste.